Number 16 on the Derby qualifying list is Win Win Win. Goes out from Michael Trombetta. You can see the pedigree. He's by hat trick out of a Smarty Jones mare named Miss Smarty Pants. His two-turn record thus far, he's 0 for 2, and the figures, they look like they've declined a little bit, and if we're looking at it from a literal standpoint, they have. But I think there's reason to believe that this horse might actually be a little bit better than he looks on paper, and admittedly, I was someone exiting a race like the Pasco that thought, you know what, maybe he's just going to be one of those nice one-turn, sort of 7/8 one-turn milers that are just going to really take his game to the next level there, and as the distance gets longer, I wasn't totally sold. To be honest with you, I think... Well, I shouldn't say I think. I know. I've kind of changed my tune. I think 2 turns is well within his scope. Who knows? Maybe when it's all said and done, he is better going shorter. But I think he's got a big chance in a race like the Derby at a big price. Let's go back to the Tampa Bay Derby. This is the first race that I'm sure most people will look at and say, well, a little bit disappointing when you consider this is on the far turn. We've gone over this Tampa Bay Derby a number of times. The pace was hot. It was a speed-friendly track at Tampa Bay Downs this day. You see right here, this is Tacitus down on the inside. On the outside here with the orange cap is Win Win Win. I'm going to let the tape roll. And sure, they're starting at the same point. So perhaps a little bit disappointing that Tacitus ultimately goes off and gets the job done rather, I don't want to say emphatically over a horse like Win Win Win, but he did get a considerably better trip. You see how much more ground Win 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 is carrying than a horse like Tacitus. There's about 4 paths difference between the two of them, and I can understand folks that look at this finish right here from Tacitus on the far outside, Win 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 on the far outside and say, well, he's just kind of going up and down. Maybe he's passing tired horses. You got to do a little bit better. You got to pass outshine. But I think the added ground, given that it was his first time going 2 turns, I don't think it was a disaster. I don't think it was a brilliant effort, but I don't think it was terrible. Now, you take a look at that. He earns an 89 buyer. A horse like Tacitus comes back. He wins his next start in the Wood Memorial the same day that Win 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 runs in the Bluegrass. He's bet down to odds of 3-1. And the thing that I really like about this race, okay, this was a day that there wasn't a lot of passing going on in this race particularly. You see Signal Man here. You see Vekoma on the outside here. He's going to be the one that ultimately wins this race. And all the way back here between horses, this is Win 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 warming up. The thing you're going to want to keep an eye on with Win 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 is as they get midway through the far turn, he's going to stop pretty severely. And usually when they stop that badly in a dirt race, it's all over. They're not going to be able to rally on. Not going to be able to find their stride again and pick up ground. Win 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 does the exact opposite. You're going to see right about now, he's going to come up in behind those horses, and Arad's going to have to slam on the brakes pretty good right there. He loses all of his action, all of his momentum on dirt that is usually, it's over. There's usually no chance for you to rally on. Instead, this horse wheels out into the clear, and he's going to finish faster than anyone else in this race. And that to me is a very, very positive sign. Look, the last thing in the world you want to have happen on Saturday is for your horse to get stopped as he's making a run on the far turn. But the fact that this horse is able to come on again at 1 mile and an eighth, he finishes faster than anyone else. And if he doesn't get stopped, I'm not convinced. Look, maybe he doesn't beat Vekoma, but I think it's even closer than what this 3.5 length final margin is. I think this is just a very promising effort. His figures look on the light side. The workout the other day, everyone and their brother has an opinion on it. I'm not an expert as far as workouts are concerned. I did like how when Julian Pimentel just gave him a little tap on the shoulder, he accelerated. And again, I'm not suggesting I'm a wizard as far as that kind of stuff is concerned. But I do like that he was in against Tacitus, he was in against Country House, and when he was asked, not that the other horses were asked or tapped on the shoulder at all, but when he was asked, that little tap, that was an instantaneous sort of acceleration. That to me, it's a sign of a good horse. Maybe the 1.25 miles won't work for him, but I think those last 2 runs, I think they have, at least they have him ready to go. And on top of that, that nice work that we saw the other day, I don't know. I mean, to me, I like everything about him. If you don't like him on top as a win contender, I would strongly, strongly urge you to use him underneath. And I know many of you are rolling your eyes saying I've said that about every horse. If you're playing superfectas, most of these horses check those boxes. So we'll find out. But to me, I think Win 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 is a very, very intriguing candidate to run well in this Saturday's Kentucky Derby.